This is Off the Record, a radio playlist where I help you discover new artists and new music. I'm excited because I've been following these guys since they had 2,000 followers on Instagram. Now they're about to hit 12,000 followers, and it's been a month and a half. I'm here with the Redwood twins, folk, Americana, rising indie artists. Boys, how are you guys doing today?
We're great. We're super excited to be on the show today. Thanks for having us.
No, thanks for coming and talking with me. I'm excited for this first question. I always like to start by asking who your guys' musical influences were growing up, and not so much like the artists you guys were discovering, but who was like playing music around you and what do you remember them listening to? And I guess the fun spin on your guys' case is if it was like a similar experience for the two of you or if it was like two different ones.
Yeah, I guess I'll start. They are probably pretty similar, but we grew up in a family of musicians. My dad played piano, played guitar, well, self-taught guitar, but my mom ran a big choir program and ukulele program, actually. So our first instrument was ukulele, and our sister played double bass in orchestra and university. So we grew up in a pretty loud house and, you know, played worship teams together from the get-go. So there was a lot of music going on. But my dad used to freestyle, like he'd freestyle his bedtime stories when we were really young. And I think that's a big part of where the creative gene came from. But as far as like the artists, like he played we grew up hearing a lot of James Taylor, Boston, CCR, a lot of classic rock mixed with that classic folk, Paul Simon songs. We also had kind of our own niches and our own genres of music that we dove into individually. Like I got on the John Mayer kick early. I'd say he's probably my biggest influence guitar wise, and
that's so cool.
And Daniel Caesar and all that stuff. But because we were doing vocal jazz and ukulele and all this stuff with our mom, then we'd get home and our dad would blast Rush and crank out the electric guitar.
That's so cool. I'm really curious of like what your guys' working dynamic is like right now, especially when it comes to like spending long times together, writing, recording content, and what is it like kind of like putting that away?
Yeah. So I say I got the writing bug pretty good when I first hit Nashville and first started interning in Nashville, and I can't really control it. I write nonstop, and Chris, I'd say our best stuff comes from when we're writing together. But Chris, I probably write a bit more by Chris just because I can't turn it off. But when we're recording together that content, we posted a couple clips of when we were younger, and like
I remember this post.
Yeah, probably
it
7.
Hasn't really changed.
It really hasn't changed. I'd say like the content is like we'll spend a brief bit of time before the video figuring out, you know, freestyling some Mando licks or figuring out who's singing harmony or who's leading. But honestly, what you see is what you get. And with a couple of those blooper reels, like it's pretty real. It kind of ends up in a crash out a lot.
Yeah, I'd say our dynamic within writing and recording and all the business stuff and all the meetings is kind of separate from content because for the most part, we're on the same page. We're a team. I'm working at a recording studio a lot of the time while he's just solely focused on the management side for us. So we kind of have different jobs within our own team. But yeah, we never really clash at all when we're writing, never really clash performing. When it comes to content, some videos you see, we might have done it twice and called it. Other times it was 20 takes back and forth. I think he messed up. He thinks I messed up.
Someone says the other person's sharp. Someone gets up and rage quits and comes back 5 minutes.
I love it. I love it. What has been a post of your guys's that you're surprised like performed well? That you're like, we didn't think people would actually enjoy that, and then it was the one.
Kaleidoscope. I never even played a mandolin until that video. I picked it up like 10 minutes before the video, and then we just kind of said, screw it. He didn't even actually want to post the video because he thought we could do better. And I was like, I take credit for just getting him to post this stuff because some of our biggest videos, he didn't even really want to post. And I was like, dude, we've got to just keep posting.
I get way too nitpicky sometimes. The Kaleidoscope empty-handed, I think, is what we're going with that other one where I'm in the Oregon Fleece, and that autopilot, we also got a lot of comments. But those couple ones, like I was really tentative to post them, and same thing with Blindside, which are the main 3 that started the the growth and the constant growth, and even the trial reels of Blindside. Like, I was really mad about one line in the chorus, and I thought it was flat, and I thought I was going to lose some people, and I'd say Blindside, but
yeah, I told him not to post that one, and then the trial reel alone, I think it's at 140,000 views right now.
Wow.
So yeah, that's been pretty crazy. But it also kind of ties in. I'm kind of jumping the gun, but
Do it.
The process of doing stuff together. Sometimes he wants to be doing things and he's writing all day and he's like, come on, we got to do this. And I'm not feeling it. Like sometimes I come from work, whatever. And that part is like, he's, grinding gears just to get me to record with him. Other times it just kind of flows. Like he might make a random chord progression and he wasn't even planning on writing. And I maybe come into the living room for food and I'm like, yo, that melody would be sick. So
I think there's something really interesting about how your like biggest videos are like what I call the Notes app post of like you guys taking moments of workshopping something and throwing that up versus where we see a lot of people on your guys' scale who are dropping covers after covers after covers. And that's what we're seeing like be their biggest post. I think it's like such a testament to like post everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And the originals, especially in like the format that we started posting them in the stairwell, like I think people just really latch on to the organic, like raw feeling of it's almost like a listening room experience of like there's nothing on it, that reverb that we just get in the stairwell and the sound that comes from it. It's a very organic thing and it's very easy for people to follow along with the story. Like the lyrics are probably the thing I'm most passionate about and the thing I want to deliver to the audience the most. So it's like in those settings of the stairwells and posting those, that's why I get picky, because it's like I don't want someone to hear a note and then miss like the best line in the song. And that's kind of the cool part about the originals for us is they all do better than the covers. And it's like people aren't as worried about, well, first of all,
unless we're Noah Kahan.
Yeah, unless people latch onto us singing Noah Kahan like crazy. But it's like you're actually able to be some of those little embellishments and elements that aren't perfect are sometimes what people love. Like on that empty-handed autopilot video, like I missed the harmonic, it's like in between the first verse and the second verse, and like there's like 10 comments who are just like, I love the missed harmonic or whatever. So it's like you never really know what people are gonna latch onto, but the organic feeling of those originals in the stairwell is like what's doing well.
It's also just we made a goal. Like at the beginning of the year, he was like, all right, like our goal is 15K, and I was like, nah, like
for the end of the year.
Yeah, for the end of the year. And I was like, nah, 50, like 50K, we got it. And he was like, what, 50K? And what I meant to say, I'll jump the gun on the next question being like advice in terms of social media, just to post. Like every time you record something, unless it's going to bug you over and over again, when you watch it again and respond to comments, just hit post. Because we've been trying all sorts of stuff. And some of the stuff that's worked on our page is not the kind of video we thought would get traction like it has. So yeah, my advice to anyone who may be listening to this and thinking about posting more is just hit post. And try and have fun with the recording process, because it's really easy, as we kind of explain, to get frustrated with yourself and hyperfixate on that note or two that you might be slightly off objectively. But that's why AI will never take over music. Because music, it's imperfectly perfect. So yeah.
Oh, that's such good advice. I love that. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but what is the songwriting process like? Where are you guys drawing a lot of inspiration from right now?
So some people have a blueprint for how they write songs. Some people start with a melody or start with a hook or start with a chord progression. For me and for us really, but especially for me when I start a song, it's kind of different every single time. And so a lot of the songs I've written in the last like 8 months or so have been definitely along the themes of like longing for a home. We're 2,500 miles from our entire bloodline, and so like a lot of our writing. We went to school in Florida from Vancouver Island, which is like polar opposite corners of the continent.
4,000 miles away.
So a lot of the themes have been home and these hoops of like just unexpected elements and trial and error and valleys and peaks and just the ebb and flow of that transition into the real world from college and that that kind of almost reality check, but also the way that it all plays together, the way that like our family is happier at home with us chasing our dreams than us being stuck there. And then there's all these themes that play into it. But for me, I'd say like recently it's been different every time. Kaleidoscope, I had the word kaleidoscope in my notes for like 2 months. Like I didn't know what I was gonna do with it or why, but like I just thought the word kaleidoscope was really cool. I'd never heard it in a song, and like an actual kaleidoscope, like there's a lot to it. Like there's a lot of metaphorical, like the flashing frames of blue and gold that I have in the first verse. It's like it took me a while to figure out, okay, what theme of my life do I want to attach that word to, or how do I want to write that song? And so like last week though, it was a chord progression, and it was me playing something and him humming a melody. He's really good at melody. So it's like a lot of the time I'll start playing something, he'll hum a melody, we'll voice memo it, and then I'll do the words for the first verse, and then he's got a good idea for the chorus, and it just snowballs. So
like a good synergy between the two of you, just putting it together.
I'm a little more invested first now because I was resistant to the writing. Like a lot in the fall when we moved here and we were grinding all this stuff, I was kind of like, nah, I'm not in the writing mood, and I'd use that as an excuse over and over again. I think it's also just because once we were like, okay, we've written so many songs about where we're at, where we've come from, etc. Now I'm at the point now, and in Nashville you have all these different co-writes, right? It's people getting together and writing together. Not the biggest fan personally, but with him, because we have slightly different strengths, it's so perfect that like the process plays with. I'm not saying he's not good at harmonies or melodies and stuff, and I can't write a good chord progression, but in general, because he started writing music first, the stuff that I was picking up was cool harmony lines. How do I add to what he's already doing? Ooh. So now that we're writing new songs, most of the time we're not planning on writing the song. He just happens to be jamming, or vice versa, and we're like, yo, we should run with that. This way is also way more organic too. It feels like we're kind of writing around the vibe a lot more, as opposed to, and nothing wrong with it, but thinking about a word or a theme, how do we write the song around that? So it plays trial and error. Like we're really figuring out what our best process is, but right now we kind of got a good thing going where a lot of the time he's got the chord progression, I might help with melody, then he's grabbing lyrics and etc. So it's been a ton of fun. I don't think there's an actual artist that we take all this influence from. I've just been listening for folk music, so I can kind of help him.
I'm putting him on. He listens to so much more R&B and hip hop tone stuff, and lately he's really catching. Honestly, it helps that the Instagram stuff's doing well, so he's realizing, whoa, like people love this sound of us, and it's like I should probably listen to more. But another piece of that writing is like one thing that I take a lot of pride in is like when I'm writing something, the chord progression like off rip. If I'm writing something and it instantly, and you're listening to the intro before the words are coming in, and you start singing another song, or like you're thinking of something else, or it sounds exactly like another song, like that's a big no for me. So it's like, wow, I really take pride in what we both do, but writing something, even if it's and with that being said, it doesn't have to be overly complicated, but even whether it's a hammer on or a certain finger picking style that's different, we like tying people together. Like I've been saying, good music is good music. So it's
2026. Like there's been good music now for hundreds of years. So you take these different aspects and kind of make them, he could play a chord progression without the inflections and without the added notes, and it could sound like something mainstream for sure. Yeah. But once he's kind of messed with it for a little bit of time and he's added these different things and transitions and typically when we hear these first two chords, I think it's going this way. Well, what if we made it a minor and dropped it down here? That kind of thing. So it's really cool to take ideas that have already been in, say, folk music or country or rock or whatever, but how are we making these our own, and what do we want to hear from it? So cool. We're not making music for other people. We're making music for ourselves, and we're figuring out what other people like. So
I gotta know, what is like one of the most essential albums you put your brother on?
Oh gosh. Probably anything Gregory Allen. I love the slowed down, stripped back, the Hosiers, the Bon Ivers, the I
Milk
don't-
carton kids. I
Milk-
like the milk carton kids. too.
Interesting. I don't even remember putting them on that. Yeah, I don't know. I think just I'm a playlist guy. I'm an album guy because I'm a musician and I respect the craft of creating an album and even the way they order it. But I'm a take all the songs I like the most, and then I really just listen to my playlist a lot. So it's like they're all kind of intertwined. It's less of like one album and more artists. Like,
Cam Whitcomb, honestly, is the biggest answer.
Oh yeah.
Whitcomb and Cam Whitcomb from the island where we live, literally an hour away. And his music, it kind of reminds me of what we're doing a little bit because you'll see Cam Whitcomb on a summer playlist, a country playlist, a pop playlist, a Sad Boy Hours playlist, whatever it is. It's not that his music, you know, if it didn't flow moving from one song to another and it felt like something completely different, that's not exactly what I'm, explaining. Like he has all these different styles of music, but in one project they flow so well together. So I'd say Cam Whitcomb, any of his.
Cam Whitcomb's definitely a good one. Yeah, he's just so good. And Noah, he'd like been listening to Noah Khan, but I have it on a lot. So it's like the tone, even like The Great Divide, the song he just put out, like we have Kaleidoscope, the way we recorded it actually has a lot of similar tones. And he uses a rubber bridge in that song, which gives a cooler guitar tone that's not as common. And yeah, I just say it being on in the car, on my phone, in the kitchen while I'm cooking, and him just being, ooh, what is this?
I heard Noah Khan pre-6 season though, I will say.
Okay, good. Well, what should we be on the lookout from you guys for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so definitely be on the lookout for an announcement in the next couple weeks. We've been working hard with this music we've been finishing to figure out a game plan and whether I'm not going to drop, but whether it's an album or an EP, there's something in that world coming very soon. And yeah, we've been cooking a lot of new music. So I'd say stay tuned and follow because you're not going to want to miss them. But yeah, singles coming in the next couple months, and really this summer is going to be huge for releasing.
And we're playing as the year gets through. We're playing more and more and more shows. So also a good way to, keep up and know where we're playing is on the socials, but we're playing more live shows and stuff too. So
that's so exciting. Well, it's time for my favorite question. I asked you guys to bring 3 songs from 3 other artists, but we're switching it up this week. We're going to do 4 songs, so you each can share a couple.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I get the picture. There's this artist, I think he's like 19, and he lives in Nashville or somewhere in Tennessee. His name's Ethan Burdick. I Get the Picture by Ethan Burdick. He is releasing it on the 17th of this month. There's been a big buildup from it. He caught the algorithm hard with this one, and so there's a lot of people who are getting impatient on it, but it will be worth the wait. So check out I Get the Picture by Ethan Burdick. A second artist is a guy named Carve, all capitals, C-A-R-V. He's got a couple bangers. One of them's called Hellhole, but he's another Canadian born and raised. So love shouting out the Canadians.
All right, and my 2, a friend of ours that we got to go on the road with recently, her name's Kylie. Her stuff is awesome. It's more R&B based, but she just dropped a song called Weatherman, and it slaps, so check it out. The song is called Photo by Miles Squires. So Squires is Squires, and he's dropping lots of heat this year, so you should definitely tap in with him.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming and chatting with me. It was good to just sit down, hear how it's been going. I'm excited to see what's to come for you guys. And I hope everyone enjoys my favorite track of the 2 that have been released, which are both bangers, Leap of Faith.